We welcome you to Shelby, North Carolina, the home of the American Legion World Series. We're getting ready for Game 3 of the day. We're halfway through. But before we get started, let's head down to the field for some of the pregame ceremonies.
Is the Rowan County Veterans Honor Guard. Our national anthem will be sung by Betty Z. Taylor, academic advisor for the TRIO program at Cleveland Community College. We'll sing the national anthem. She was presented the Excellence Award by the commanding officer at the Rock Island Army Arsenal in Illinois.
Oh, say can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleam, who brought stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare that was bursting in air gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
We are Post 165 from Midland, Michigan. We are Post 298 from Bryant, Arkansas. Woo pig. We are Post 397 from Shrewsbury, Mass. We are Randolph County, Post 45. We are Post 40 from Henderson, Nevada. Hey! We're Post 13 from Lewiston, Idaho. Hey! We are Post 1 from Omaha, Nebraska. And this is the American Legion World Series. Wow!
Well, the excitement of American Legion baseball has come to Shelby, and we move to the Stars Division this afternoon. Arkansas and Idaho face off the 2 games earlier today in the Stripes Division. Hi, folks. Mike Hogwood here, along with Steve Woodard, a former Major League pitcher, and Woody, you get to this point and it's really, really an exciting time.
It has to be for these guys. There was over 3,700 teams and down to 8 teams now.
And you see the scores from earlier today. Massachusetts, Michigan go 10 innings, 3-2. And Nebraska, surprised what a lot of people thought might be the best team in this tournament. Nevada, they've hit the ball all year, but they didn't hit it today.
It just shows that good pitching can beat good hitting.
All right, but let's get this game going. Idaho and Arkansas, that is Steve Orender, who is on the hill for what is now the home team, Arkansas. Idaho is Riley Way will lead it off.
And Aaron Orender, he throws a fastball, curveball, and changeup, velocity to low 80s. He changes speeds and keeps the ball down.
He got the win in a late regional game, MVP of the state tournament for this Arkansas team from Bryant, Arkansas. Bryant posts 298. And the count goes to 3-1 on Riley Way, who is really a guy who makes his team go. He's got great speed, super shortstop, and has had a great postseason, and he leads off with a base hit. Well, he's been doing that all year, Woody.
He sure has. That's a prototypical leadoff hitter. Makes pitcher throw strikes and base hit up the middle.
Now to be Alex Light, the first 4 hitters in this lineup. I mean, it really balanced all the way through, but the first 4 are outstanding. Light's 5'7", 140 pounds from Lewiston High School. Graduated last spring.
And he's going to play, actually going to play JUCO baseball and football in college.
Yeah, he almost missed the playoffs. Talking to his coach, Kevin Maurer, said they had to convince the football coach to let him come play here in the World Series. Laying down a bunt. And he does his job getting Riley Way down to second base. Take a look at the defense now for Arkansas. And that will be Griner, Allen, and Shurtleff in the outfield. Scott Schmidt, Jake East, Seth Tucker, Brandon Hoover, and Dylan Hurt, the son of the coach, is behind the plate catching Aaron Orender, the right-hander. The batter is A.J. Avery. He goes to Clarkston High School, actually graduated last spring. He was the most valuable player in the regionals for Idaho.
And actually him and Riley Way both are actually going to be at Lewis Clark State College playing together. One of them playing shortstop and the other one playing second base, it looks like.
Yeah, you'll hear us talk a lot about Lewis and Clark. You get the idea that those fellows on their way to the Pacific Ocean had a big time in this town that they now call Lewiston, Idaho. And there's a river, and right across the river is Clarkston, Idaho. And the team is the Lewis Clark Twins.
And it looks like they got some good ball players.
Indeed, they do. Counts 2-1 to AJ.
And like we said, Orender, you know, he'll get up there in the low 80s, but the main thing, he throws strikes and tries to change speeds, keep these hitters off balance.
Runner down at second base is Riley Way, and a big opportunity for Davis. It'll move the runner over to third, but they're down 2 outs. Well, I think we've seen earlier today, scoring first in a game like this, it really kind of settles the nerves a little bit, gives you a little bit of confidence.
It does, and it for sure settles the nerves of the pitcher if you can get an early lead there in the first inning.
The batter is Luke White, the cleanup hitter. He's another one graduated last spring. He's going to Yakima Valley Community College this year. And this guy's got some power. Had 6 home runs during the season, 14 doubles and 2 triples.
And they said he was their best hitter, and I think he hit .357 on the year.
Now this Idaho team may have had as many heart-stopping moments on their way here as anybody, and he had a base hit in a great regional final against Missoula, Montana. That's going to go foul.
Yeah, these guys, they played a lot of baseball to get here in the last few days.
Well, in a double elimination tournament, Woody, they lost the first game. So, I mean, they're playing sudden death the rest of the way through it. That's not easy to do.
They had to fight their way back to get back through it, and I think they played, I want to say there was like 33 innings in 17 hours.
Fouled it off. Count will stay, a ball and 2 strikes.
So they had to grind it out to get here. And then half their flight didn't get here on the way. They were late getting here.
Yeah, got here at 1 o'clock in the morning. White had 7 RBIs in the regionals. Now, runner at third, even though there are 2 outs, that was a good stop by the catcher.
And Dylan Hurt, coach's son, came back. He was in college this past year, come back to play 1 more year here.
Called strike 3. Good pitch on the outside corner by Orender. He gets out of it. Runner is stranded. We played half an inning. Idaho nothing. And Arkansas coming to bat in the American Legion World Series.
The 2017 American Legion World Series is brought to you by Cleveland County, Gardner-Webb University, and by the American Legion.
Well, there's royalty everywhere here in Shelby, North Carolina. What a great city and a great host of this American Legion World Series. It's become the permanent home of the World Series. And a great crowd here on a day that's actually kind of cool. There's a lot of clouds in the sky, so you're not going to burn up here today. It's a great day to come watch some baseball. Logan Allen will lead things off for this team from Bryant, Arkansas. There's their lineup. Allen, East, Tucker, Hurt, Shurtleff, Wright, Schmidt, Hoover, and Griner. The first pitch. And the first baseman, Luke White, makes the play. 1 down.
And I know Julian Washburn, the starting pitcher here for Idaho, he, just like the coach said, he'll fire it right in the zone, tries to fill up the zone, and throw strikes early in the count.
And that'll bring up Jake East. He too swings at the first pitch.
And a little bit more about Washburn velocity. He's going to be somewhere around the 85 to 88 mile an hour range. He's actually going to Walla Walla Community College.
Ground ball third, that's going to get through. Base hit, Jake East.
And Jake East keeps it going. He was actually the MVP of the regional tournament.
So both teams now with a base hit in the first inning and a runner aboard. And that'll bring up Seth Tucker, the second baseman.
I know, and Coach Hurt, he was telling us earlier in the week that they like to get these guys moving, get the runners moving a little bit, and hitting behind the runner and trying to make some things happen.
Tucker to center field. Alex Light is there. Alex Light, center field of a pretty good outfield. Colt Olson, Chris Powell, Jordan Phillips, Riley Way, A.J. Davis, and Luke White in the infield. Chase Atkinson, the catcher, and Julian Washburn, the pitcher, right-hander.
And he looks good so far.
2 down, 1 on. The batter is Dylan Hurt, the catcher, the son of the coach. They're swinging early in the count. Plays made by the shortstop. And another runner stranded. We played an inning here in Shelby, North Carolina at the American Legion World Series. No score. Idaho and Arkansas. Back in Shelby, and I mentioned at the top of the broadcast, they've divided these teams into 2 divisions, which I like better than a double elimination tournament. You save on the pitching a little bit, and you really have then that one game for a championship on Tuesday night.
Yeah, they do. And it's the pitching part of it now, since they've changed the rules and put in the pitch count rules and stuff like that. It kind of makes it tough late in the tournament to have a lot of pitching left.
You do have to plan out your pitching.
Now batting for Idaho, number 20, the third baseman, Jaden Phillips.
Jaden Phillips. You're a pitcher, so I'll let you go over all those rules. It's not easy.
No, it's not. And if you throw more than 30 pitches in the game, you got to wait 1 day to pitch. If you throw over 45 pitches, you got to wait 2 days. And if you go over 75 pitches, then you got to wait 4 days. So it kind of makes it tough. Like you said, you got to kind of play it out in your head before you get going too far in the tournament.
And if there's some coaches who are pitching pitchers today and are going to let them go as long as they can, knowing that they probably won't use them again.
Well, they got over that 75 limit, and it was right to it, and it was a close game, 1-0, 1-1, and they just had to let those guys go, try to win that game.
Hey, well, this guy facing Orander at the plate, Phillips, he's had clutch hits all year. It's going to be a tough play, not able to be made. Seth Tucker did a nice job knocking it down, keeping it in the infield, but not able to come up with it. And I'm sure that'll be scored, a base hit for Jaden Phillips.
And that's another one of those guys going to Lewis Clark State College there.
That Lewis Clark State College is a real powerhouse NAIA team, as you see the play by Tucker. Chase Atkinson, the catcher for this team from Idaho, is the batter now.
And this is a young kid. He'll be a 2019 graduate, and they're really high on this kid. So he's a big prospect.
Overall in the season, he hit .447. That ball was down in the dirt. That's going to be a wild pitch that'll get Phillips down to second base.
And I know Coach Woods, he had talked to us a little bit about it, and he said he lets him call his own game and take control of the game out there for the pitchers.
Atkinson is from California. That's a base hit going through. Runner will be held at third base. But he's really found a home with these guys here in Idaho, and they're glad to have him. Base hit there. That's the third hit of the game. And now runners are at the corners, and there is nobody out.
And what a great piece of hitting right there. That ball was in on the hands, and he took it the other way to try to move that runner over.
Boy, in a game like this, with nobody out, you got runners at the corners. You got to think you got to come up with something, and a tough spot here for Aaron Orander. Danny Robinson, the DH, is the batter.
Early in the game here as a pitcher, you want to, kind of forget about that runner at third base. Start worrying, just worry about the runner at first, where you just don't let too many bad things happen. Try to keep it to a minimum.
Orander, that might get him. How about that play?
Wow. I haven't seen that in years.
I don't see it work often, but it worked then.
Wow, picked off third base. Great move. Caught the runner off guard. I think caught the coach off guard too.
Well, that's a cardinal sin if you're a base runner. One down now. What a big play. This could be two. No, this Tucker can't come up with it. Got him at first. Good job by Tucker after fumbling it, staying with it, coming up with it, making a play.
That was a great play, but that was a good job of hit. I mean, if that runner would have been on third, there would have been a run right there because they were playing back.
Yeah, you think about that. Now Chris Powell, the right fielder. Powell hit .282 on the season.
And I know Coach Woods was telling us that, don't be surprised with this kid here hitting late in the lineup. He can still hit the ball deep.
He hit 2 home runs during the year. He does strike out a lot. He's got 3 walks and 23 strikeouts.
He has a big swing, a long swing, so you can see when he makes contact, he's going to hit it a long ways.
And you can also see by his numbers there are times when he doesn't make contact.
Yes. And those were the guys I like to pitch to.
Yeah.
The guys that were free swingers and like to swing.
No balls, 2 strikes to count. There are 2 down. Runner on at second base.
He's making him work here. 0-2 count. He's fouled off a couple of pitches.
Idaho had runners at the corners and nobody out. There's a punch out. Ornder with his second strikeout of the game. And nothing doing for Idaho here in the top of the second inning, despite a couple of hits to lead it off. Look here. Runner gets picked off at third. No score here in Shelby. Good crowd today at the American Legion World Series. Boy, this city does a great job putting on this event. This Arkansas team, these guys have all been together since they were little kids. They won the Babe Ruth World Series when they were 13. They played for pretty much the same high school, or have, Bryant High School, and they won a state championship at Bryant a couple of years ago. Alex Shartliff is the batter. The right fielder, also a pretty good pitcher. So far, it's been pretty easy for Julian Washburn.
It's just exactly what the coach said. You know, he's gonna throw strikes and change speeds and fill up the zone, try to make hitters hit it early in the count.
Jake Wright is the DH in the batter now. Wright is a young guy. He's a rising junior in high school. He is the backup catcher. And you talk to Darren Hurd about this guy. He says he is really going to be special. Check swing. And they're 2 down.
He's making it look easy, but you know, you never know. I mean, you throw a lot of strikes early in the count. Sometimes you can give up hits, and sometimes you can get them out. But
you know, sometimes teams come here and I don't think they know really what to expect. They've won their regional, and what kind of ball do they play from somewhere else in the country? And
you know, I think it's you know, it can be different parts of the country, different regions of the country, and then they get here and they kind of see what the rest of the country is about.
Scott Schmidt's the batter, third baseman, and hits it right to third base. And an easy inning, 1, 2, 3 for Julian Washburn. He's looking good, and we've got no score through 2, Idaho and Arkansas in the American Legion World Series.
Let me ask you a question. When you think of the American Legion, what comes to mind?
Is it the way we fight daily for our veterans to get them the benefits they've earned through their service?
I work hard every day to make sure that our veterans get the benefits they deserve. I am the American Legion.
For nearly 100 years, the American Legion has been our nation's leading advocate for veterans and their families.
I am the American Legion.
This is today's American Legion.
To learn more, visit legion.org.
In Kings Mountain, you will discover a wide variety of family fun activities. You can stroll our downtown historic district, see history come alive at a Revolutionary War battle reenactment at Patriots Park, or take a scenic walk on the Gateway Trail and enjoy the unique overviews of the Kings Mountain Range. Come visit and take a trip back in time to witness our rich history. Historic Kings Mountain, North Carolina. It's revolutionary.
All right, the concession stand, and we talk about this every year. They sell liver mush there. You've never had it. You're going to try it before the weekend is over. I trust me.
I don't know if I can do that or not.
Just once. We've all done it in the past, and it is a delicacy here at the American Legion World Series. One pitch, and Colt Olson grounds out to first base here in the top of the third inning. Both these pitchers have really looked good here in the first couple of innings.
Yes, they have. They're throwing strikes, just like the coaches said, and making these guys swing the bat.
Back to the leadoff hitter, Riley Way.
And I think a lot of times young kids, they try to throw away from contact, and these guys are throwing to contact and getting early outs.
You know, should Riley go on to have a great career, and they maybe name a street after him. They could use his name, Riley Way.
Perfect name.
But good way. Or showing the way. He does have a base hit. Falls behind here. No balls, 2 strikes. Way, the shortstop. We told you, he is the guy that makes this team go. Plays for that NAIA powerhouse that Steve Woodard was talking about, Lewis and Clark State.
And I think they've won 2 consecutive NAIA championships.
Ground ball to shortstop. Good throw, nice play. Jake East going west with the ball.
And Riley Wade just showed you how fast he was with his speed right there.
Yeah. East really had to throw it. Alex Light will be the batter. He had a sac bunt his first time up. Moved way down to second base. They couldn't get him in. Light had 14 hits in the regionals. It was a big key for Idaho. Again, East will have an opportunity. And that is now 6 in a row that Orander has retired. Nothing doing. A lot of goose eggs up on the board. No score. Idaho, Arkansas. Back at Shelby. I tell you what, Julian Washburn reminded me a little bit of Steve Woodard. Works fast, throws strikes. He's faced 7 batters and retired 6.
He has done that, and the best pitch in baseball is a first pitch strike.
Right.
So he's throwing strikes. Both these guys are throwing strikes, but Washburn, he's going right after them, and like we said, getting them out quick early in the counts.
What did he throw last inning? Something like
4 pitches.
Yeah, 4 pitches. It's not a bad inning.
It's a very good inning.
I heard you did one 3-pitch inning one time.
Against the Florida Marlins. I will never forget it.
Brandon Hoover will lead it off for Arkansas, number 8 hitter in the lineup, the first baseman. And that's a rare ball thrown by Washburn. Hoover's a rising senior in high school. I talked to Darren Hurd about him. He says, yeah, you look at it, don't be surprised by that size. This guy is more athletic than you think, and he gives great effort.
He's a good-sized boy, but looks like he can play a little bit.
I know this, I don't want to run into him at first base. Count's even now, 2 balls, 2 strikes to Brandon Hoover. In the regionals, he struggled a bit in the regionals, just 2 for 9. That's 222.
But that can be very misleading for what they did during the year,
Right, he hit much better than that during the season. Checked his swing, ball hit the bat. Count will stay, 2 balls, 2 strikes.
And Washburn, if you look at Washburn here on the mound, David Price there in the big leagues with the Red Sox, he looks a lot like, he's from the right side, but David Price, the way he starts, and kind of looks like he's throwing from the stretch when he's starting off, but throwing from the windup.
This is the longest at bat that he's had so far in the game. Count, 2 balls, 2 strikes.
And what Washburn's trying to do is just really try to square his shoulders up to the catcher, get everything square before he's going home, and it makes it a lot easier for him to get in that position starting like this.
This will be the 7th pitch of the at-bat. Well, he took his time and hit a base hit to right field. That was a pretty good at-bat for Brandon Hoover.
That was a very good at-bat, and that was actually a very good pitch. Good piece of hitting.
An 8-pitch at bat. And that'll bring up the number 9 hitter, Kobe Griner.
And like we said in these tournaments here, when the pitch counts and everything, if you can work that pitcher and make him throw some pitches, you can get into some other pitchers.
Griner's been one of the really neat stories on this Arkansas team. Squared around a bunt. He didn't play a whole lot at the beginning of the summer, but he has since taken the left field job and not let anybody else take the position. But you would think he's going to bunt here. And he lays down a good one. That's a good job by your 9-hitter. Sacrifice bunt.
Very, very good bunt. You know, a lot of things we take for granted now, you know, the bunting part of the game.
So a runner at second base in Hoover. Not great speed. Top of the order up, Logan Allen. Logan popped up to first base his first time up.
And Logan Allen actually plays at the University of Arkansas, Fort Smith, and was the Heartland Conference Freshman of the Year. So he had a very, very good year, first year in college.
Arkansas, Fort Smith, an NCAA Division II school. Very good baseball program. Tell you what, that 33 looks big in your screen at second base. That is going to get through. Hoover was being waved home, and then they held him. But a base hit by Allen.
Very good piece of hitting. Ball was inside, and he stayed inside of it and hit it up the middle.
It'll bring up the shortstop, the number 2 hitter in the order, Jake East. Yeah, I don't think Hoover was going to have a chance to make it if he took home there. Jake East, base hit, his first time up. That should stay in play. And does for Luke White. They're 2 down.
They sure are swinging early in the count.
It's been very obvious. You're right. This Arkansas team doesn't waste any time getting the bat off their shoulder.
I know Coach Hurt told us they did not have a home run during the entire season this year, and you could see why they played that situational ball there, getting the bunt down, moving guys over.
Seth Tucker's the batter. He flew out to center field in his first at bat.
And Seth is going to play at Hendrix College in Conway, Arkansas, Division III. And I wouldn't be surprised here, the runner at first, they get this guy moving at first base, try to make something happen.
That's Allen at first, and he has got a lot of speed.
And they had him on the go.
But it's right at the right fielder, Alex Shurtleff. Well, they strand 2, nothing doing for Arkansas. We played 3 innings. We've got no score. Idaho and Arkansas in the American Legion World Series. Now, some folks like to keep score just as we do. And so far, there hasn't been a lot to write in your book. There's no score as we move now to the 4th inning. Be the meat of the order coming up for Idaho. A.J. Davis, the number 3 hitter, will lead it off. He grounded out to second base his first time up.
Like we said, it's another one of these guys that is going to Lewis Clark State College to play, and man, they've getting some good ball players.
And we'll see him pitch before the weekend is over. Davis pitched in the regional championship game, did well.
Yes, throws the ball well. You know, got a very good arm.
Well, we haven't seen this much. Orander has now fallen behind 3-0. He hasn't walked anybody. Orender has 2 strikeouts. Washburn on the other side has not struck out a batter. And just like that, the count's gone full, 3 balls, 2 strikes. Looks pretty confident, doesn't he?
He does. It looks like he knows what he's doing, don't he?
The center field, and you see the ground that Logan Allen can cover.
Now batting the first baseman, Luke White.
Boy, it's great to have a center fielder who can fly, isn't it?
That's amazing. I thought that was going to be a hit.
He makes it look easy. Just kind of drifts over. But Allen is a great center fielder. Luke White, the batter.
I was fortunate enough to have some center fielders like that because they always hit the ball hard off of me.
No,
they had to run and get it.
There's another shot to center field, but this one's going to be right at him. And 2 down as Allen makes the play again. Both teams have had base runners. Both teams have had runners at third base. Have not been able to get them in. Jaden Phillips, the batter, right back to the pitcher, Orender. And that's a 1-2-3 inning. Orender has now retired 7 batters in a row. And there's no score, Idaho and Arkansas.
The 2017 American Legion World Series is brought to you by Cleveland County, Gardner-Webb University, and by the American Legion.
Back in Shelby at the American Legion World Series, I've got a pitcher sitting right beside me, and he probably loves a pitcher's duel, which is what we've got going right now. Outstanding performances by Aaron Orender and Julian Washburn.
Absolutely. When you got a quick game, guys throwing strikes like this, you know it's going to be a good game, good scoring game.
Dylan Hurt, the Arkansas catcher, will lead it off. Popped up to the shortstop, his first time up. Turns on that one, and that is going to go foul. What were you saying about home runs for this Arkansas team?
They did not hit a home run during the regular season.
They didn't come very far from hitting one right then.
Very true. I think the coach said they about had an inside the park home run, and that was about as close as they got this year.
Hurt at the plate has only had 4 extra base hits all year. He had 4 doubles. That's it.
So that pretty much tells you they're a situational type team. Move the guys over and get them in.
Actually, those 4 doubles were in the regionals. And more than that during the season, but he had 4 doubles in the regionals. Hit .375 in the regionals. Was 9 for 24.
It's a good time to get hot.
I should say so. That was not what Julian Washburn wanted.
And Washburn in the last inning threw 17 pitches in the 3rd inning, and in the first 2 innings only threw 12 pitches.
Pretty solid outing so far for the right-hander. That is lashed into left for a base hit. Well, we've had several leadoff hits in this game, but so far nobody's been able to do anything with it. And that'll bring up Alex Shurtleff, who flew out to right field his first time up.
Well, let's see if they try to move him over here and get a guy in scoring position.
Shurtleff's another interesting story. He started the season as a pitcher only, but some injuries happened, some things. He volunteered to go play in the outfield. Got a chance, been in the lineup ever since. Now he will still pitch.
Yeah, he'll actually start game 2 for them, the way it looks. Very, very good pitcher, like you said, and had to fill in when some guys got hurt.
And an opportunity here, ball and a strike to him. You see Bryant High School there. All these guys went to the same high school, and as we said, they've all been playing together since they were young kids. And you're talking to Darren Hurt, who's had a couple of sons go through. And he says, yeah, they all know that this is it, though.
And all those guys that went off to college and were playing their first year wanted to come back and do it one more time and see if they could win this.
They all know this is the last time this group will be together. Shirtlift, and that might get in there. It does. 2 base hits to open the inning, and their runners at first and second.
That was a good pitch, a great piece of hitting. Just fought the ball the other way, trying to get that runner over.
If you're a pitcher and you make a good pitch and it gets hit on, you got to mentally just somehow put that away.
You do. You can't let it bother you. You just got to tip your hat to the hitter and know you make that pitch again. Hopefully you're gonna, you're gonna get an out.
Now Jake Wright, the designated hitter, grounded out to shortstop his first time up, but he's got a big opportunity here. Nobody out. Well, that's a good throw down to second base. Got him! Chase Atkinson with a nice throw to second base, and that is the second time we've seen a runner picked off in this game.
That's a second mental mistake. I think Idaho got one back right there after making the mental mistake early in the game, and they got him out of a big jam right there.
That's a good throw.
Great throw.
Wow, one down, and now just a runner at first for Wright.
And now you can see why they were talking about how good of a catcher Atkinson, is, and how he can throw the ball.
Yeah, that was a big-time throw right there. Came up quick, very little motion, and put it on the right side of the bag for the shortstop to make the play.
He didn't have to move his glove very far, did he?
Not at all. Ball and 2 strikes. And a base hit to left. Think about now, how big was that throw by Atkinson to second base?
That was big. Got him out of a huge jam right there. They'd have bases loaded now with nobody out.
And there's a good look at Atkinson. He has only 1 passed ball in his last 25 games. He is an outstanding catcher. Scott Schmidt is the batter, the third baseman. Schmidt grounded out to third his first time up.
And Atkinson will only he'll be a senior. Well, actually, he'll be a junior this year. He's a 2019 graduate.
To right field. Runner tags and is safe at third. Shirtlift down to third base on the fly ball by Schmidt. That was a pretty good throw.
Chris Powell just showed his arm off pretty good there, didn't he? I thought he was going to try to hit the cutoff man. He threw it all the way to third.
The right fielder, Chris Powell, indeed made a good throw. Here's Hoover, who had a base hit and was stranded at third base his last time up. And he's got a chance here. There are 2 outs. Great day in baseball here at the permanent home of the American Legion World Series, Shelby, North Carolina.
And they did a great job of taking care of us this week. It's an amazing event that goes on here.
Well, they rolled out some special carpet when they knew you were coming. 2-0 now, the count to Hoover. Washburn had 7 starts during the season, and he had 4 complete games.
And looking right there, you can see how the first 2 innings were real quick with 5 pitches in each inning, and then 15 and 17 in the following inning. So starting to labor a little bit.
Had a 5-1 record. That's the first walk of the game. There's a 5-1 record during the regular season.
And he had a 2.82 ERA and threw 44 2/3 innings.
Outstanding.
During the year with only 11 walks in those 44 2/3 innings.
I'll have to have a little chat now with Washburn. With runners at the corners and 2 outs. And I'm sure that's one thing he's telling them, there's 2 outs.
He's probably asking what he wants to eat for dinner tonight. You know, wanting to see if he wants to have
look at a little animated. And then I like the mentality of Washburn. He's like, just stay.
He's just trying to make him relax a little bit. He's throwing the ball well. Just needs to get ahead of this guy here.
The Lewis and Clark twins. Now here's Kobe Griner, the number 9 hitter. Had a sacrifice bunt his first time up. Griner in the regionals, 235. Had 4 hits. And his team could use one now. The middle, little flip to the second baseman, and another couple of runners are stranded, nothing doing. And we've still got no score between Idaho and Arkansas. Back in Shelby, this is game 3 today in our first game in the Stars division. In the Stripes division earlier today, Massachusetts and Michigan had a great game, went 10 innings. And Nebraska, like how impressive was Nebraska today? My goodness. Chase Atkinson leads it off. Oh, what a nice scoop, but he couldn't get it out of his glove.
Great play, just couldn't get it out of his glove to make that throw.
Jake East, the shortstop for Arkansas.
Covered a lot of ground, didn't he?
He did. That will be ruled, I'm pretty sure, a base hit by Chase Atkinson. So leadoff hitter is aboard for Idaho here in the top of the 5th inning. And Danny Robinson, the DH, is the batter. Trying to bunt the runner over, and he's going to do it. Boy, so far every team's been successful when they've laid down a bunt.
Doing the little things to give your team opportunity.
And Atkinson, who's really a young guy, a rising junior, has good speed for a catcher at second base. Chris Powell is the batter. Made that really nice throw to third base from right field last inning.
And it's funny how Atkinson made that throw to second. It's funny how you lead off that next inning when you do something good and end up getting a good hit out of it.
Baseball always seems to work out that way. You know,
the baseball gods follow you.
Absolutely. Powell struck out his first time up. Orender has 2 strikeouts today. He has been very efficient.
And it makes it tough as a hitter when a pitcher can throw 2 pitches for strikes and mix it up that way. You never know what to expect.
That is called strike 3. 3rd strikeout of the game for Orender, and it's the 2nd out of the inning.
And after throwing that breaking ball, the pitch before, and it being borderline ball or borderline being a strike, and then coming back with that fastball, I think he was looking breaking ball.
Number 9 hitter Colt Olson is up. He grounded out to first base his first time. Trying to bunt his way on. Orender's going to have to make a nice throw. He doesn't, can't get it done. And Olson might have hurt himself. He made a great effort getting down that line. He's got his foot hung up on the bag.
He had to come across the bag to try to catch it. And
look at that. See that foot? It just, he hit the front of the bag and kind of jammed his foot. But I think he's going to be okay. He's going to stay in there. Atkinson has gone to third base. So the runners at the corners, first and third, 2 outs. And the top of the order now, Riley Way. Riley is 1 for 2 today. Base hit in the first, grounded out to short in the third.
I think that kind of caught everybody off guard there with 2 outs and throwing down the bunt.
Riley Way with a big opportunity. He's had a great postseason. Hit .381 in the postseason, .319 on the season.
And Mike, you can kind of tell when you look at guys like this, you can just tell he's an athlete.
Line to left, and that is a foul ball. Our third base umpire, Mark Mayle, rules it foul. There's a good look at Mark.
And I had a chance to meet all these guys the other night at dinner, and it was fun being able to a chance to talk to them. First thing they asked me, have you ever got thrown out of a game before?
What I want to know is, how many times have you gone to dinner with the umpires?
Very first time.
Dave Cummings behind the plate. Ground ball. That's going to be a good play by Orender. And again, nothing doing for Idaho. They have runners at the corners. Can't get anybody in. We've still got no score. We move now to the bottom of the 5th inning. Nobody scored. Arkansas 6 hits, Idaho 5. So the big story now, who's going to draw first blood?
Man, these pitchers are throwing the ball well, and like we thought. Coaches said these guys throw strikes, and that's exactly what they're doing.
Yeah, the ground crew finishing up some work. A lot of volunteers make this whole event happen. The whole town of Shelby gets behind it. There was a great concert downtown. There have been a lot of events surrounding it.
I got to see Kelly Pickler the other night.
Wait a minute. You do have to go sit in one of the rocking chairs to watch the game. It's awesome. And yeah, Kelly Pickler from American Idol, who is from North Carolina. Top of the order, Logan Allen will lead it off. Allen's 1 for 2. Popped up to first in the first inning, had a single in the third.
Then we're going to have Miss North Carolina here one night, correct?
Oh, we're having Miss America.
Miss America, that's what it is. Then we get to interview her, correct?
I hope so. I hope so. Ball and a strike. Ground ball to short. Riley Way up with it. Tell you what, Logan Allen can get down the line in a hurry. It was a nice play.
Now batting Jake East.
Speaking of shortstops, the Arkansas shortstop Jake East stands in. He's got one of the 6 hits for Arkansas today.
And Washburn needs a quick inning here. He's thrown a lot of pitches here in the last few innings and needs to try to get back in the dugout.
Fastball misses. It's 2-0.
And he looked like he humped up on that one pretty good there.
Well, you talked about it a while ago, the rest rules, and Washburn is quickly working himself into a couple days off.
Yeah, he's getting up there. He's at 56, 57 pitches now, or 52 pitches actually. And once you start getting up there, around that 60 mark, sometimes you have to wait 2 days after 60 pitches. You'll have to wait once it gets over that 3 days, 75, 4 days. So once they get up to 75 pitches, these guys are going to let them go.
Yeah, shortstop to shortstop. Jake East to Riley Way. They're 2 down.
Now batting, Seth Tucker.
It throws a wrinkle. Like you said, the pitching gets depleted late in the tournament.
And you can't really save any because the whole goal is to win this division so you can get to that title game on Tuesday night. To left field, right at Colt Olson, and 3 up, 3 down. Pretty good inning for Julian Washburn. He's pitched well today. Through 5, Idaho nothing, Arkansas nothing. Well, you gotta like it on ESPN3 today, and ESPN3 is alive here in the stands.
She's sitting there listening to us, isn't she?
I don't know about Liz. I think she's just got the picture on. But if you are, turn around and wave. Now there's Aaron Orender. There was a discussion between home plate umpire Dave Cummings and Darren Hurt, the Arkansas coach. Extended conversation. Didn't look animated at all, and I don't think there are any changes.
They pulled his scorecard out, though, so
maybe he was warning him of changes to come. Alex Light is the batter here in the top of the 6th inning, and Orender hasn't fallen behind much, but behind 2-0 now. Make 3-0.
Second time today he's went 3-0 on a hitter.
Wow, walked him on 4 pitches to lead off the inning. And A.J. Davis, the number 3 hitter, will be up, and you can't squander too many opportunities. This Idaho team has had a lot of base runners today.
Yes, they have, and sooner or later it'll catch up to you, but A.J. Davis here, number 3 hitter in the lineup. I don't see him laying down a bunt, but you never know. They may get this guy in motion right here and try to hit behind him.
He's 0 for 2 today. Throw down to first. Snap throw by Hurt. Both these catchers have good arms.
And it's fun to see when catchers throw behind runners and love to throw the bases.
American Legion Baseball would like to thank Baseball Factory, the official player development and college recruiting affiliate of American Legion
Arkansas
Baseball.
coach Darren Hurt's coming out.
Like we talked about that pitch count, we're up at 71 pitches right now, and once he gets up over that 75 mark, we're looking at 4 days.
And Will McIntyre has just run down to the bullpen, number 21. It's important we keep up with pitch counts in a game like this more than you would, say, in a college game because of the rules and the rest rules here in the tournament. Which, by the way, I think is a good thing to take care of these young arms. Very good thing.
It does, and a guy that pitches today can actually come back if they make it to the finals and be able to pitch that last game.
Davis, who flew out to center field his last time up. Boy, all of a sudden, Orender has lost control. He walked light on 4 pitches, and he's fallen behind 3-1 here.
And I wouldn't be surprised here, full count, nobody out. They're going to just run it first to be in motion here.
Might have hit him, but it would have been ball 4 anyway. So for the first time in the game, Aaron Orender is struggling a little bit here in the 6th inning. 2 on, nobody out. And Orender's having a little trouble finding the plate. There's McIntyre, Will McIntyre. That is hit to center field, and the range of Logan Allen comes into play, but it will move the runner to third.
That was a very, very good base running there to be able to run back, tag up, and get to third base to get to scoring position with less than 2 outs.
Yeah, Luke White gave that ball a ride to deep center field. 400 here to straightaway center.
But Logan Allen does make it look easy, don't he?
It does. Jaden Phillips, the batter now with 1 down. Runners at first and third. We have said that before in this game. So far, nothing's happened.
And we'll see right here what Jaden Phillips can do.
Idaho has had a runner picked off of third base. Runner's going down to second. The throw is high. Here he comes home. Safe at home. Run scores for Idaho. Throw was a little offline, but I'm not sure would have gotten him anyway.
I don't think it would have got him, but you know, like we said, catcher throwing the bases. I don't know if I wouldn't have held on to it there.
That's a foul ball.
But on Idaho's part, a very, very good base running. Very good.
Counts the ball and 2 strikes to Phillips, the third baseman. Popped up, and the second baseman, Seth Tucker, is there, makes the play. 2 down.
And that's why we a lot of times want to hold on to that ball and not make that throw.
You don't see that throw a lot. You really don't. Particularly when you got a guy with speed at third base.
And you got to make 2 great throws to be able to get that guy out at home plate.
Davis is down at second base. Let's see that. What happened?
They're putting him on. Putting him on.
Intentionally walked him. Sets up the force at first, second, or third. And that was Chase Atkinson, who, as we've seen, is a pretty good hitter. And they'll go after Danny Robinson, the designated hitter. Two on and 2 out for Robinson. Laid down a sacrifice bunt his last time up. Ground ball's going to get through. Davis will be held at third base, and the bases are loaded.
You know, Mike, usually you don't see that, putting a guy, you know, a righty on a righty, putting him on to face a lefty. You usually don't see that.
Yeah, but you got a guy like Chase Atkinson who's been swinging a hot bat in the last couple of weeks. You might say, okay, let's take our chances with somebody else. Now, Chris Powell is the batter. He has struck out twice. And that hit him, and that'll mean a run. Wow, it has not been an inning of control for Orander.
They had McIntyre warming up in the bullpen, and he's coming to the dugout, so I'm not sure if he's ready to go yet or not.
Here's the number 9 hitter, Colt Olson, as the bases are still loaded. And Olson, from that 9 spot, had a base hit his last time up. You saw Powell trying to shake it off. Lined up the middle, base hit. 1 run is in. Here comes the throw to the plate. And he's out at home. That'll be the 3rd out of the inning, but another run scores. 3 runs on the board here in the top of the 6th inning. And the team from Lewiston, Idaho has taken the lead over Arkansas. 3-0. We head to the bottom of the 6th. Our score. And then you look on the hats, you see the DP logo there, and Woody, that is very special for this team.
Yeah, I was talking with some of the guys about that last night, and that DP on their hat, their Legion director, Dave Pint, passed away this year from cancer. So that's very special to them. He was very special to this program, and that's the reason that DP is on that hat.
Yeah, they're certainly remembering him as they come here and playing in honor of him.
And playing very well.
Absolutely. You've taken a 3-0 lead. Now, I always think it's important in some shape or form to answer a little bit after a team has put a couple of runs up on the board.
Yes, it is. And, you know, your job as a pitcher is to go up there after you put a run on the board to put a 0 up there.
Dylan Hurt is leading off, the catcher, the number 4 hitter. Hurt's 1 for 2 today. He's popped up to short, had a base hit his last time up, but he got picked off. Second base.
And this team from Idaho, you're talking with the coach, you know, he was telling us a little bit the other day about they went to the team as a whole went to what was called Camp Whitman for 1 day, which was a team building exercise that they went to where they could learn to trust each other and pull for each other. And he said after they did that, they started to win a lot of games. And they did that in the middle of the year there, and you know, he said it brought them all together as a whole.
Turned on it, did hurt, but it's right at left fielder Colt Olson. One down.
Now batting ALWS.
We were talking about this earlier. Now, if you're coaching and Washburn's got it going right here, do you just let him go as long as he can go?
I think you let him go as long as you can go. Try to win this game. And if he goes over that pitch limit, he's able to come back if they can make it to the finals on Tuesday.
He's still throwing strikes. Alex Shirtliff is the batter. Alex has a hit today. He's 1 for 2. Idaho with 3 runs on 7 hits. All 3 runs have come in the top of this inning in the 6th.
You know, like you said, him coming back out after getting those 3 runs right there, his job is to put a 0 up on the board and get back in the dugout and let his team hit again.
Can't say enough how impressive it was for Idaho just to get here after losing the first game in the regionals and facing sudden death every game from there on out. Twice teams had bases loaded in extra innings, and they came in to shut them out.
And the coach was telling me that he had no idea how they got out of it. There were bases loaded with no outs one time, and they got out of it.
Well, it just shows the resiliency of this team from Lewiston, Idaho.
And I've never been to Idaho, Mike. Have you?
I have. Great state. Off the end of the bat, Alex Light makes the play, 2 down. Well, after walking Hoover, Washburn has now retired 6 batters in a row. And Jake Wright, the DH, is the batter. Impressive performance.
And it makes it a little easier to pitch once you get some runs up on the board and you don't feel like you have to be perfect with every pitch, and you can go right after these hitters.
Right to the third baseman, Phillips. Nice scoop. Make that now 7 in a row that Washburn has retired. He shuts down Arkansas. Aaron Orender had been pitching very, very well until the 6th. Lost his control a little bit, and he wasn't near as sharp as the first 2 batters got on, and then it was trouble from there. So this time they weren't going to leave batters stranded, was Idaho. And this was a big play, I thought. The attempted steal to second, then the throw home. That was the first run. 2 more would score.
And sometimes when things like that happen, the wheels kind of fall off a little bit, and he started getting the ball up and hit a few guys and some base hits, and they scored some runs.
Oranger's still in there now. As we head to the 7th inning, it'll be the top of the order for Idaho. Riley Way is the batter. Riley's 1 for 3 today. Oh yeah, Riley Way flew out to second base. This is Alex Light. Light with a base hit.
Yeah, in order throwing strikes, getting ahead, got a real quick out there to Riley Way, pop up to second, and then Alex Light come back throwing strikes to him.
Just shows in baseball, you put your head down for a minute, looking at ready to write in the book, things happen
quickly.
But that's why you're here, to keep me straight, man. That was good. A.J. Davis is the batter, and I appreciate that.
And I gave up a 9 spot before I knew what happened in the first inning of a game before, so it happens quickly.
It does. 1 down, Davis the batter. He scored one of those 3 runs in the 6th inning. And he's got a base hit up the middle. Light's going to make the turn, and he's safely at third. Ball gets away by the third baseman. It goes into the dugout, and that means that Light is going to come around to score.
That was a great piece of hitting, and trying to go from first to third and making things happen, and an errant throw goes into the dugout.
So he does score on the error. When the throw just sailed there on Logan Allen. He scores on the error, and that is not an RBI, and we're going to get a pitching change here. Oranger's day is done. He had a little trouble in the last 2 innings, but 4-0. There's a new pitcher on now, and we will tell you about the new Arkansas pitcher. Will McIntyre is the new pitcher. He's a right-hander. He's a rising junior in high school at Bryant High School. 6'4", he's the tallest player on the team.
And Mike, he throws a fastball, a cutter, a change, and a curveball. And his velocity is somewhere in the 83 to 86 mile-an-hour range.
And he's facing Luke White, the cleanup hitter. White is 0 for 3 today, and a big opportunity. You get a guy at third base less than 2 outs. There's a lot of ways to get him home.
There are a lot of ways to get him home, and right now he's trying to get a ground ball in the infield here, preferably to third base.
Or a fly ball, get him home as well. Already 4-0. And the innings are getting late.
And I learned in this, in this situation here with less than 2 outs and a righty on a righty, a breaking ball that's not a very good pitch here. A lot of times you can lift that ball and get that ball up in the air. You want to try to stay hard in on guys to try to get them to roll over and hit it toward third or short.
Hurts going back for it. And that ball is stayed just in play, and Hurt was not able to make the catch. He was right up against the backstop.
Looked like it was going to be out of play, and
it did.
Barely stayed in.
He threw the mask away, trying to find it. That's a hard play. That is tough.
And it looks like there you can see the shadows and everything. He may have lost it in the shadows.
Count's full, and Logan Allen misjudged it for a moment, but comes in, and that is not deep enough to get the run home. He took 2 steps back, and then with his natural ability came in and made the play.
He's made everything look easy to this point, and they were sure weren't going to run on his arm.
No, sir.
But Will McIntyre did his job right there, getting an out with that runner at third.
Jaden Phillips is the batter. 1 for 3 today. And that is right to the first baseman Hoover. But here in the top of the 7th, Idaho comes up with another run. They lead at 4-0, and time for everybody to stand up and stretch. Well, we've played the traditional take me out of the ball game in the 7th inning stretch. Folks having a great time on what has turned out to be a gorgeous day here in Shelby.
And the fans are pouring in now.
Yeah, that's because tonight North Carolina is going to be playing in the next game against New Jersey. And if North Carolina does make it to the World Series, another team from Rowan County did last year. It's a little bit of a home court advantage.
It is that. And they got a very good team also.
Washburn has gone all the way on the hill for his team from Idaho. Orender's line, he went 6 1/3. 9 hits, 4 runs, 3 were earned. Struck out 3, walked 2, and he threw 93 pitches, which means he's not going to be available for a while.
He won't be available until Tuesday if they can make it to the finals.
Scott Schmidt will lead things off. Arkansas needs some runs. Tell you how efficient Washburn has been. This is only Schmidt's 3rd at bat.
He has thrown the ball well. He's at 72, 73 pitches right now. And got ahead right here on this first pitch already.
Schmidt's grounded to 3rd, flew out to right. Two and 1, the count to Schmidt. Schmidt's bat has really come to life of late. And you talk to their coach, Darren Hurt, he'll tell you Schmidt's a big reason that they made it here to Shelby. They'd love to see him get an inning started here.
You know, Washburn's fallen behind here, 3-1, and
we haven't seen that much.
Not much at all. And these guys are going to probably start trying to make him throw some pitches.
And he threw a strike. That one was, as they say, right down Main Street, right over the heart of the plate.
And he'll get that same pitch right here.
And that is going to be a foul ball. You know, that's a good point. When in a game like this, when you're up 4-0, you can afford to make a pitch where you don't necessarily try to fool the hitter.
You're trying to make them put the ball in play and let your defense play, and trying to get them out early in the count, just like they've been doing all day. But sometimes there's a pitcher we can give that hitter too much credit.
Washburn, who had a great regular season with his ERA around 2.8, 5-1 record. After falling behind in the count, fights his way back, and there's one down. I've really been impressed with the job Julian Washburn has done today.
And these coaches were right on, right on spot with him, talking about him, telling him how good he was, and being able to throw all these pitches for strikes.
Well, as we were just talking about, they've pretty much made the commitment for Washburn to not be available until Tuesday. He's pitching so well here today.
Yeah, and you'll see now they'll let him go as long as they can here, and so they don't have to waste somebody else throwing some pitches. But if they can make it to Tuesday, he'll be able to pitch again.
2 balls and a strike to Brandon Hoover, the Arkansas first baseman. This is Hoover's just third at bat. He has a base hit. Powell's got to run. Stretches out. And did he make the catch? No, he did not. And he hurt his shoulder in the process. What a great effort by Chris Powell in right field.
What an effort there.
And very quickly, a trainer's out to him.
And it looked like he got his shoulder caught up underneath him. And hopefully he's not hurt too bad.
My goodness. We saw Powell's arm earlier in the game, and he made a great throw. He's a good outfielder. Boy, you hate to see this, no matter when it happens, but particularly here in the team get to the World Series. But I'll tell you this, that was an impressive show of effort there.
And I thought he hung on to it there.
I did too. I thought he made the catch, but I think when his shoulder got hurt, the ball came out. Well, let's hope he's okay. And we're going to take a break now. We'll come back and we'll check on Chris Powell. 4-0 our score here in Shelby.
Trout?
You guys going to the game?
Yeah!
Room for one more? You sure this is the way to the game?
It's a shortcut.
I guess I get warmed up.
Land Rover is a proud sponsor of baseball on ESPN.
Golden Corral's Prime Rib and Shrimp Spectacular is here. Slow roasted prime rib, shrimp skewers hot off the grill, garlic herb butter sirloin, and butterfly shrimp. Dinner's just $13.99. So hurry in for endless prime rib and shrimp. Golden Corral, your choice rules.
Well, I tell you what, it just took the air out of this crowd. After a great effort by Chris Powell, he's having obviously a shoulder issue.
And you hope he's okay. That was a great effort, and you hope nothing's hurt too bad and he'll be able to come back and play.
If you've ever had a shoulder injury, it is so painful.
luckily, I've never had a shoulder injury. I did get hit with a ball once and was a line drive off my arm and by Frank Thomas, of all people, and was in the hospital for several days.
And a nice hand for Chris Powell, who is obviously in some pain with that shoulder. We get a chance now to see what happened. Look at the effort now by the right fielder. Boy, he landed so hard on that left arm. And look at the presence of mind. He's really hurting to get that ball and get it back towards the infield.
Ryder Schultz is entering the game to play right field.
And that was some great effort there, and it looked like the grass just stopped him.
Now batting Kobe Griner.
Now for Idaho, Ryder Schultz will be playing right field. It's number 15.
And let's see how this break here affects Washburn.
Kobe Griner, the number 9 hitter in the order, is the batter for Arkansas. When you were on the mound and you had a long break, there was an injury or something, how did it impact you?
Well, you had to, if you saw Washburn here in between innings, he was playing catch with the shortstop and second baseman just to kind of keep his arm going a little bit. And if you noticed, he didn't even throw any, usually the umpire would give you a few pitches after something like that's happened, but he didn't even take any warm-up pitches.
Well, he's missed his first 2 pitches here, falls behind Griner 2-0. There's 1 out. Hoover's at second base.
And for sure he's taking right here 3-0 for sure.
There's a strike. Maybe he should have taken a couple of warm-up pitches.
And he's probably going to be taking 3-1 here also, I bet.
And that is ball 4. That's the second walk he's given up today. So runners at first and second.
And Bradley Newmeyer, the assistant coach, pitching coach, just went out to talk to him a little bit, try to calm him down.
I always found that interesting. And did you need calming down sometimes when a guy comes out there, or maybe some instruction about?
I don't think I've ever got instruction when a coach has come out, other than, they come out and try to make you laugh, try to make you relax to where you could. It's funny how it always works. You always throw a first. If you ever watch, you always throw a strike the first pitch back. Let's see if that happens here.
Top of the order, Logan Allen, the speedy center fielder. We've seen his speed on display here today several times.
And it's funny how that always happens. You always throw a strike after that coach goes off.
Got under it. That was Schultz's ball all the way. It's easier coming in, but remember, he just came into the game.
And it looked like the umpire did. He called infield fly there, even though the right field caught the ball. If you were paying attention to the umpire at second base, he was hollering infield fly.
And nonetheless, they're 2 down. And the batter is Jake East. Boy, Arkansas really needs a run. Get some confidence going. Ground ball to the shortstop. Way. Throw to first, plenty of time. Arkansas strands a runner. Nothing doing here in the bottom of the 7th. We go to the 8th, and it's Idaho 4, Arkansas nothing. Welcome back to the American Legion World Series, Game 3 of the day, and Idaho 4 runs on 9 hits, leading Arkansas as we head to the 8th inning. Will McIntyre staying on to pitch for Arkansas. Chase Atkinson, who's been a big part of this game, was intentionally walked last time. He is 2 for 2, has scored a run. Plus made a heck of a throw to second base.
And Will McIntyre came into that game right there with that runner on third in the last inning with less than 2 outs and was able to get out of that without giving up any more runs. Come in and done his job.
And again, he's a young guy. Just be a junior in high school when school cranks up.
And had a good regional tournament, 10 2/3 innings, and with a .84 ERA in 2 appearances.
Counts even here, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Atkinson, the plate goes to Grangeville High School. He's also a young guy, rising junior. Talked about how his family moved to Idaho from California, played travel ball. And the Idaho coach, Kevin Maurer, says this guy's really going to be something special.
Yeah, they were bragging on him, talking about how big of a prospect he's going to be in the upcoming years. And we can see why.
Logan Allen makes that play, 1 down. Again, the way this works is every team is guaranteed a couple of games and a certain number of games, and then it's the best records that go to the championship. There are a number of tie-breaking possibilities, but we know what the semifinals will be on Monday. The winners of those games will go to Tuesday. So the key is to make it to Monday.
Key is to make it to Monday, and you never know what might happen.
Danny Robinson, the designated hitter, is the batter. Had a base hit his last time up. It's this one to right field. And a nice running catch by Alex Shurtleff in right field. That play was harder than Shurtleff made it look.
These outfielders are making it look easy.
Now batting, Ryder Schultz.
Shurtleff got a really good jump on the ball, made the play. Now batting for the first time is Ryder Schultz, who came in and for Powell, and he grounds it out to short. And it's going to be an easy inning for McIntyre. So we go to the bottom of the inning. Arkansas needs some runs. They trail it. Today so far, Massachusetts has beaten Michigan in 10. Nebraska looked great. And right now, Idaho looks like they may be on their way to victory. And then the crowd is really going to be here tonight for North Carolina taking on New Jersey. We are in Shelby, North Carolina. And it's probably about, an hour and 45 minutes till you get to the home of the team from Randolph County in Asheboro, North Carolina. It's not too far to drive to come see the fellows play baseball. Seth Tucker leading off the inning.
Swinging at the first pitch. Quick out.
And that's what Julian Washburn, if you've been out there the entire game, needs.
And that's very unusual for a team to be down 4-0 going out swinging at the first pitch also.
Dylan Hurts, the batter. That's a foul ball. That hurt. I knew I was going to say that before this game was over.
Love it.
So then you would ask the question, is hurt?
I don't even know what to say to that.
Not a lot you can. Bottom line is it counts 0-1. That was, by the way, was pitch number 93 of the game for Washburn. And on pitch number 94, he gets hurt to pop up.
Making it look easy, isn't it?
What's the most pitches you ever threw in a game?
Ooh, in the big leagues, probably about 130, maybe.
Wow. Well, at 94, it looks like Washburn still got a lot left in him. Alex Shurtleff is the batter with 2 outs. Now, you talk about Arkansas, when you lose on the first day, you can still come back from that because it's kind of a round robin in the division.
Yeah, there's still a way to come back from that, and you know, they got a good ball club. And, well, this game's not over yet, but
not at all. Washburn's throwing a gym, though. 2 balls, 2 strikes. There are 2 outs.
Looks like he gets more comfortable as the game goes on.
Count's full now. 3 balls, 2 strikes. You said Shurtleff, I think he's pitching in the next game for
Shurtleff is scheduled to pitch the second game for Arkansas. And
he pitched well in the regionals. Right up the middle. Way, going to have to hurry. Can't make the play. That's going to be a base hit. That ball skipped right across the bag. It was not hit hard enough for Way to make the play.
And it looked like Washburn slowed it down just a little bit to give Way a chance to even make a play on that.
Good scoop, though, by Luke White. So our runners aboard with 2 outs. Here's Jake Wright.
You know, and it surprised me here earlier in the inning when the first 2 hitters swung at the first pitch. Usually the unwritten rule for baseball is when you're down like this and late in the game, you're not going to swing early. You're not going to swing at the first pitch.
And Washburn has gotten behind the last 2 hitters. And that's going to bring the pitching coach out of the dugout. Count 2-0.
Just trying to give him a little breather here and 2 outs and tell him to just slow down and not worry about this runner at first base, and let's get this hitter out. Like we said, always coach runs off the field, the next pitch is always a strike, so let's see if that happens. There goes my theory.
He's behind now, 3-0. You're right, this game a long way from over. These Arkansas bats come to life at any second, and now they're 2 aboard, and I'm trying to see if we're getting something going down in the bullpen. Don't see it yet.
It looks like it's going to be Washburn's game to win or lose here.
This Arkansas team, as we said, these guys have been playing together all their lives. They've been in tough situations before and have come back from it. There's a strike from Washburn. Shurtleff is at second. Jake Wright is at first. Scott Schmidt is the batter. Schmidt today is 0 for 3. down in the dirt, and a good stop by Chase Atkinson.
You know, Washburn's now up over the 100 pitch limit now, and you know, anytime you get up in there, you start to wear out. First thing that goes are your legs.
And when your leg goes, your control starts going.
Ball starts going everywhere.
Ground ball foul. I think the only good thing really today, it has been, if you live in North Carolina this summer, it has been a miserable summer. I mean, it has been in the 90s, heat index up in the over 100. The air has just been, the humidity has been really high. But today, to me, this is a perfect day for baseball.
This is beautiful. It's been a beautiful day.
It's not hot. The sun's not beating down on you.
We got the windows open.
We do have the windows open. And that's a great pitch by Washburn to strike out Schmidt. And Arkansas strands 2. We go to the 9th. Julian Washburn pitching a gem, 4-0. Back in Shelby, we go to the 9th inning. 4-0 Idaho leads. There's a new pitcher on for Arkansas. Their closer, Boston Heil, a right-hander. He's had a good season.
He has, and Boston's going to throw a fastball, a slider, and a changeup. Like you said, Mike, he is their closer, and he's a sidearm guy, something you don't see a lot, but his velocity can be around 75 to 78. And when you're dropping down, throwing it from there, it can jump on you pretty quick.
Got an interesting arm slot.
It looks
not a usual delivery.
It looks a little different after seeing all these other guys.
Colt Olson from the 9 spot today has 2 hits. He's played well.
And Will McIntyre came into the game and kept them in the game and gave them a chance. You know, kept Idaho to 4 runs right there. Didn't let them score anymore.
Good stop by Hoover. Is going to race it to the bag. Good play by the big first baseman. He had to do that, and I don't know if you noticed, but Heil got a late break going to first base, and I know that's
he got caught watching. I can't say I've never done that before, but he got caught watching. And
Riley Wade's the batter. It is something you work on all the time. But when that ball's hit to the right side like that, that pitcher has to explode off the mound to first base.
Always. And that ball, looking at it, if you're looking at it on TV there, it just looks like a frisbee. Looks like a frisbee coming at you.
Way is 1 for 4. Oh my goodness.
And there was that frisbee.
Yeah. I mean, that ball was 2 feet outside.
Looks like he starts it right at the hitter and breaks outside.
Looking ahead to the bottom of the 9th, it'll be 8 and 9 spots, Hoover and Griner. And then Logan Allen due up. Count 0-2 to Alex Light. Light has scored 2 runs today, but that's what he has done all season for this team. Also has had a sacrifice bunt. Now he's headed to first base.
He got hit by that frisbee, so.
Yeah. One thing about getting hit by the pitch, it doesn't hurt as much as some others might. A.J. Davis looks at a strike.
And these guys from both teams have been taught well, come in throwing strikes and trying to get ahead of these hitters.
With 2 outs, a runner. Light was going with the pitch.
And when you throw that frisbee like that, it sure does make that fastball seem a lot faster.
On the handle, that is over the head of Tucker, the second baseman. And Light is going to come around to third base, and runners at the corners with 2 outs. That is the 10th hit of the game for Idaho.
And what a good piece of hitting, him throwing that breaking ball. And as a hitter, you got to stay back, and that's exactly what he did.
The guys from Lewiston and Clarkston looking good. I think Lewis and Clark would be proud, don't you?
Very proud. I think they've done very well.
Yeah,
they ought to get this whole team here.
Yeah, Lewis and Clark, of course, first to make it to the Pacific Ocean, and they went through Idaho. Popped up. Tucker makes the play for the 3rd out of the inning. So we move now to the bottom of the 9th, and Arkansas is going to need 4 runs to keep this game going. Look at our game summary. It started out as a pitching duel. And then in the 6th inning, that's when the bats really came to life.
Yeah, Ornger started getting behind in the count. Then they had that steal of second, the catcher throwing down and stealing home. And then kind of the wheels fell off.
Well, they got 3 runs in that inning. Picked up another run in the 7th. Made it now 4-0. And again, it is the 8, 9, and 1 spots in the order due up to face Julian Washburn.
And Washburn now is at 108 pitches, and so we'll see how he goes here trying to throw a complete game. And it's nice to be able to stay out there and be out there as a starting pitcher in that 9th inning. That's what we always want to do as a starting pitcher, is be out there in the 9th inning and have a chance to finish it.
You looked at Darren Hurt, who is in his 9th year coaching the Senior Legion team at Arkansas. He's in the trucking business. He told you his son's the catcher.
And his other son is the third base coach.
Right. So Hoover will lead it off. Yeah, Ozzie Hurt is coaching down at third base. Hoover's got 2 hits today. And Washburn hit it. Well, that ball just got away from him.
It did. He didn't finish, didn't get it out front, and hit him right in the back.
Look down at the bullpen. The only thing I see are the team from North Carolina loosening up. And we're going to have a pinch runner.
Myers is the pinch runner for Arkansas.
It'll be Myers Buck. Myers Buck is running at first base.
And as a pitcher here, Washburn, he just needs to just forget about that guy at first. He don't mean anything. That run don't mean anything. Most important thing here is to get out.
And in the game. Kobe Griner is the batter. Griner walked his last time up. He's had a sacrifice bunt and grounded to shortstop. That's to third, to second for 1, on to first. Got it! Double play!
What a great turn.
That's not easy. That was a slow roller to third base. Jackson Phillips comes up with it. Nice turn.
Washburn got him out front and got him to roll over it, and a 5-4-3 double play.
Give A.J. Davis some credit. And with that, Arkansas is down to their final out. Logan Allen is the batter. He's 1 for 4 today. But it looks like Julian Washburn is going to be the star of the day. Again to third. Ball game. Idaho wins today on their first game here in the American Legion World Series. They beat Arkansas by a score of 4-0, and Julian Washburn, Woody pitches a shutout. How about that?
He's player of the game. Got to be player of the game. Complete game, shutout. Great pitching performance.
Outstanding pitching performance, and it also means that he saved everything else in the bullpen. So Idaho, pitching-wise, is in great shape. And let's also mention, we mentioned before, Arkansas can fight back from this, even though they lost here on the first day.
Yes, they can. You know, it's never over. They just got to come out and win their next game. And Idaho, keep on playing.
I think we're going to have a packed house tonight. Next game coming up, I think it's at 8 o'clock tonight. It will be North Carolina and New Jersey. So North Carolina and New Jersey will be our final game of the day coming up later tonight. We've got 3 of them in the books. Idaho a winner here by a score of 4-0. We'll see you tonight at 8. For now, for Steve Woodward, I'm Mike Hogwood saying so long from the home of the American Legion World Series, Shelby, North Carolina.